Hey, so I wanted to talk about this idea of black sheep and white sheep because I read a blog that really changed my view on it, which was so interesting. So in a normal family where most people are white sheep, meaning that they value honesty, communication, trust, morality, like generally good people. If one member of the family behaves really badly and is manipulative and lying and just causing drama, they will be the black sheep and kind of, right, like kept at a distance from the rest of the family. And if someone said to you like, oh, I'm not in contact with my whole family and they all hate me, I think most people would assume that that person is the black sheep and they have bad behavior, and there's a reason that everyone else doesn't want to talk to them, and they're painting themselves as the victim as part of this manipulation tactic, being like, oh, everyone hates me even though I'm wonderful, and they're the black sheep. And that's how I would have thought before I kind of realized like what my situation was back when I was in denial. I would have thought, oh, this person's estranged from their entire family, like they were the problem. But what I realized is there's also a situation where the entire family is black sheep and they're all manipulative, emotionally, psychologically abusive people. And if there's one person in the family who doesn't like what's going on and who values truth and respect and communication and all that stuff, they are the white sheep in a family of black sheep, and they are scapegoated, meaning that everyone hates them solely because they are the biggest threat to the family, kind of having to face what's going on. So I was saying that sometimes it is the case that the person that's not in contact with their whole family actually is a kind, moral person, and it is the rest of the family that behaves in a bad manner, and they have scapegoated that individual and just treated them horribly, and that person has left this dysfunctional family, and all of the members of their family do hate them because that is the script in the family play that everyone just follows, and it's not actually reflective of how that person behaves. And actually the role of all the characters in the dysfunctional family is not actually reflective of how that person is. For example, people playing, you know, the wonderful mother when they're terribly abusive, and then the scapegoat is painted as bad and wrong and the cause of all the problem, when typically the person chosen for the scapegoat is actually the most moral person, and they're chosen to be the scapegoat to just beat them down to the point where they believe that they're crazy and bad, and they're less likely to stand up to anyone in the family and expose any of the problems. But if they do expose all the problems, then the hate will escalate and likely drive the scapegoat to end contact with the family. So I like that analogy of being the white sheep in a black sheep family, because it didn't really make sense to me that I felt like the black sheep, and yet I was the one who was not engaging in the bad behavior. So I was like, why am I the black sheep? And the idea of like, no, I'm the white sheep, like I'm the one that wants to communicate, I'm the one that wants to talk about it, I'm the one that wants to have healthy relationship, and they're all the ones that don't want that. So yeah, I look like the black sheep, but I'm actually not engaging in black sheep behavior. So I guess the next point would be, well, if you meet someone and they say that to you, I'm not in contact with my family and they all hate me, how do you know, right? How do you know if they're a black sheep and they're lying and manipulating you by playing the victim, or if they truly are the victim of a black sheep family? And I think it should be clear to you if you just make the effort to get to know that person and just assess their character for yourself. And you know, you can just see if you think that they behave in a dysfunctional manner or if you think that they behave in a healthy manner. And that's been like part of my fears, like, well, how would I explain this to people, right? Like, it sounds crazy, like, oh, your entire family hates you. Like, what are the odds of that? That literally every single person, it's like, unless you know kind of how these dysfunctional families work, like, I know it sounds crazy, but in these families there's a script, and if you're painted as the bad one, then yeah, literally every member of the family hates you, because that's your role, and that's their role. Follow the script. And the fact that you've left and exposed all their problems upsets them as well, so they will be unhappy with you for that reason. So I hope this can help other scapegoats feel better, that you're not alone. And it really sucks that first of all you have to have the abusive situation, and then on top of that you feel like you have to explain to other people what has happened, and most people would just not believe you and think that you're the problem, which is more of secondary gaslighting, which I've talked about in another video. But it does exist, that there are families of black sheep, and the white sheep is the outcast. I am learning to trust that someone who would make the effort to get to know me would see that I don't behave, you know, nobody's perfect obviously, but I don't behave in the toxic and abusive manner that the rest of my family behaves in, and they would understand that that is the reason that I left, is because I just didn't want to participate in these dynamics anymore. And it is really awkward to think that, like, oh, I have to try to explain this to someone, but I would hope that my character would be enough evidence for them that, like, I'm not lying about this, or that, you know, I really did give it my all and I tried too hard for too long to try to fix something that was unfixable. And like, it was so hard for me to quit. Like, I felt like a quitter, but the thing is you can't win. Like, that's kind of the realization. It's like, someone might say, well, oh, you should go try to work it out. It's like, can't. If someone's severely mentally ill and they have no grasp of reality, like, how am I supposed to work that out? But I don't think that normal people will, like, ever really be able to understand. So yeah, would hope that my character would be enough evidence for someone trying to discern whether there's a reason that my whole family hates me because I am the dysfunctional one, or if I truly am the healthy one and the rest of the family is dysfunctional. So